Bote Bangi, Bote Atulenzo Lampangi. Here we come to the last module into our journey, distributed ledger technology in the context of Africa. If you made it so far, that's great. We encourage you to complete this journey because in this last portion, we're going to talk about the future of distributed ledger technology and put on, our African lenses to uh, analyze things from a different perspective with a different paradigm. Um, I, a quick reminder of who we are. DITC, a DIA co-op, working in collaboration with WADA, focusing on spreading Web3 technologies in Africa. So, in the local context of Africa, uh, there is a different approach to analyzing distributed ledger technology. When we think about what we have been observing so far in this area, this incredible, wonderful technology, there are several things that come to mind. The first one is a need for a new paradigm. The second one is the need to really build by putting biomimicry at the center. And the last one is for any young developers or any person interested in this technology to really come together and think about a model that would work for the local context of Africa. So all of these three elements are, center around looking into nature and looking at what was built, what works, what doesn't work, and also putting on lenses, uh, our lenses, to come up with a solution that will answer the, mental model, or that will reflect the mental model of local communities here on the ground. So, what's the problem with the current paradigm? Uh, the current paradigm, or you know, is trying to solve problems, or many problems related to how we exchange value, and doing this through distributed ledger technology is the scarcity and fear factor. So many blockchains, the way they are conceived and implemented, reflect this characteristic where uh, if you come late, you don't have the same chances as the people that were there at the creation of the blockchain. And this creates some sort of disequilibrium into the whole system. The fear factor is, something classic we have in the economic, most economic system, and it really boils down to the idea that everything is small, little, and you need to fight to have it. And this notion has been very well expressed and transferred into current distributed ledger technologies implementation. The next point is spatial asymmetry, making sure that people present in different geographic locations are having the same access to information and the same chances to joining the network. That hasn't been thought of. Temporal asymmetry, is not that different from spatial asymmetry, given that time shouldn't be a problem. I am today informed about Cardano. I shouldn't have more chances than someone who is then informed in 2 3 years, or a newborn baby So that's related to temporal asymmetry that we observe in many blockchains. Let's dive a little bit deeper into each of these specific problem, and then we'll look into how we can bring solution to them. So scarcity and fear factor, it's all centered around rarity. So rarity is definitely the common shared characteristic that most tokens today exhibit. Um, the general process consists of emitting a limited amount of token at once. It's punctual in time and letting the game of the offer and demand play its way. And in this game where we have up and lows, up and downs, people usually based on the emotion or the feeling of the market, values can go up, that can go down, and that creates either a, a disequilibrium between request and offer, and this works very well with those who understand the system and can play with emotions and benefit from it, people's emotions and benefit from it. This is clearly unfair for future generation, first of all, and it only reinforces the scarcity pattern that we have observed for so many years. First to come, first to be served. So the next problem that today's distributed ledger technologies expose is the spatial asymmetry. So the real thing here is that the production process of monetary value is really exclusive. It's not inclusive at all. There is no concept of co-production, although we are part of the same ecosystem. Money is usually created either by machines or code, and this usually happens at the genesis level of the protocol. Like genesis just means the beginning. So somehow bitcoins are created from thin air, and same thing for Cardano or Ethereum, whatever blockchain out there. At some point in time, they launch the platform and coins are created. And when this happens, naturally, people who are close to this event, which is the launch of the blockchain, benefits the most. We understand that it's the concept of proximity. When you are close to information, you have close to the triggering of the information, you have more information. But then that puts other people who are further away from this geographic position in disadvantage, and this creates a spatial asymmetry. So by thinking about a mechanism of continuous co-production, acknowledging that any individual that is born into a system is building on top of things that other people built in the past. So hence we have some sort of economic magnetic field, just like an electric field that affects everything around it. And the only fact that we are part of that, we should be having our portion or be co-creator at least. So and it really boils down to not favoring a specific group in neither in time or in space, and making sure that we all have equal chances to co-produce monetary values. So the next one, I think we've kind of already talked a bit about this, It's temporal asymmetry. In the current situation, again, future generations are not taken into consideration during the money creation production process. Once again, we see a fixed amount of token being created at a controlled specific time in space. And this happens once, at least for most distributed ledger technologies. And then you ask yourself, what about a baby that will be born in 10, 20 years? Is he being born with equal chances as myself, who was informed about, who was born, let's say, previous year than he is? So that's something that needs to be addressed in future systems. So really what we need to do here is, in terms of general solutions, we need to think about models that have been tested over billions of years. And the only way to do this is really to turn back and look at nature and understand that biomimicry might be the big person in the room here and offer like concrete solutions to what we are looking for. So we can think about fractals and atomic models, making sure that every solution we build is, both fractal and also adhere to the principle of anything that is up, meaning the macrocosm, like the space, right? The planet is represented within the minimal unit, which is the maybe the cell or the atom, and making sure that we put that into a fractal model in such a way that it can we can bring in some level of complexity and forget about a bit about linearity, because natural systems are complex by nature. So again, focusing on nature cycles and how nature, functions. And lastly, we want to just again look at nature and see how things are organized. So when it comes down to Katiopa and Africa, Katiopa DLT, I know this design here, credit to Santos Bonacci for providing this incredible wheel that capture the essence of, the space we live in. Again, it's all about looking back at nature and see how it organizes itself. But the main idea is here that is to all young developers out there looking into inspirations, paths for any blockchain or distributed ledger technology infrastructure that could support, the way we see things here in Cameroon and in Africa. I would suggest taking a look at Monnaie Libre from France. The founder of this concept is called Stéphane Laborde, and the name of the platform or the cryptocurrency is called Monnaie Libre. I wrote it in English here. It's monnaie in French, meaning free money, but not in the sense the free money that capture the essence of what freedom should be. I think that's what it means. And when it comes down to technology and the programming language, which are really sound, I would suggest Cardano. I would say that, I love Cardano for what they've done. It's this academic approach that is really, that is the big hero here when it comes down to Cardano. It's Haskell, which use functional programming, which is something we don't talk very much about here on the ground, although it's a programming paradigm that is taking off and that offers solution to many problems developers face. On the the architecture aspect, Cardano provides some great answers, but I think there's a lot to do to build on top of what Cardano did when it comes down to an African center oriented blockchain. Holochain is another one, which definitely came up with a concept that we here at the ITC are really interested in. Um, they, they, they kind of build something which comes with a hierarchical level, but in a very organic way, where you acknowledge that people group together and form these little aggregates, and those aggregates can come together and group and so on, and really putting like the control at the hands of the users. So we'll get a chance to dive deep into each of these platform and coming future. Lastly, we have Constellation DAC, which to my knowledge today is one of the blockchain or platform that we need to look into and really learn about what they have done. I think again they understood that communities organize in based on certain level of affinity, and communities of communities are the answer to how nature function. Um, yeah, so that is the big picture of potential inspirations paths that we are recommending here. And I just want to take a few seconds and say a big thank you, Matondo, to each of you for taking your time to participate into, first of all, our November, December 2023 hackathons. And that's the main reason why we have produced this material. But it goes beyond that, right? Because we are here to really disrupt IT at Disruptive IT and bring in new paradigms to the way software is conceived and implemented with a strong focus on distributed ledger technologies, software architecture, functional programming, and many other innovative fields to come, artificial intelligence and virtual reality. So look out for that, and I will see you in other journeys. Matondo, Matondo, Matondo.